What is happening, YouTube? How's it going out there, guys? I realized it's been a while since I made a pickup video. I think the last one I did was mid-February, where we got the rally bike, the Frogger, the G-Lock, and a Daytona. So quick update on those. G-Lock, I got that one working. When I bought it, they said the controls weren't working. I actually had no issues other than replacing the missile fire button on the top of the flight stick. And then I had sound issues and I had to replace the amplifier. The bike rally, I think the connection on the board was loose, because when I got it back to the storage unit, it worked fine. The monitor did need to be recapped, and I got that done, but the tube is pretty tired in it. But it's running. It looks decent, other than a little bit of a wave in the tube. Frogger, it just needed the bezel around the monitor replaced. It's actually cleaned up really nice, looks good. And Daytona, it had a bad monitor in it. Got that monitor recapped. Has a great picture now. But I've got some control issues with it. When I power it on, I can hear the motor inside. It's really loud, and it turns the steering wheel left really hard. You can't move it, and then eventually it'll turn it back to center. And that's normal for that, to do that, to find its center on power up, but then it doesn't recognize any of the movements of the steering wheel. So I think it could be a bad potentiometer. It could also be a bad drive board in that. I haven't dug into that one too much yet. Since then, I also picked up an Asteroids Deluxe. Really nice cabinet, good condition. Had a board issue when I got it. It wasn't emitting a picture to the monitor at all, so the monitor wasn't getting anything. Once I got the board repaired, and I replaced the big blue in it, it had a monitor issue. There was no left side of the screen. So I've got that out now, and it's getting repaired. I usually use Paul's monitors for my monitor repairs. He does a great job. He's super fast, and his price is reasonable. I think it's $105 for the bench plus parts. Typically about 150, 175 bucks, depending on a flyback or not. Could be a little more also, depending on what flyback and what parts you need. But that's about what he averages. He's done a lot of them for me. But he doesn't do vector monitors, and Asteroids Deluxe is a vector monitor. So I'm sending it to Arcade Cup, also goes by CRT Labs. Never used him before, but he's pretty highly recommended. Does good work from what all the reviews say. However, according to his website, he's currently about 1 to 2 months out for repair. So it could be a little while before we get that back. Now with him, you can pay an additional 20% for a rush fee, but I'm not in a big rush, because once it's repaired, it's staying in storage. Then I kind of went on a dry spell for a while until the bug hit me, and I picked up a machine at auction. It's a Rush-In Attack. The cabinet it's solid. Needs a little woodwork. Needs a lot of paint. Somebody did a really bad white rattle can paint job on it, and it's just awful. The monitor in it needs rebuilt. I think it's got a 4600 in it, a Wells Gardner 4600. I'm not sure if I'm going to rebuild that monitor or not. I've got a bunch of LCDs, and I think the game will look fine on an LCD, so I may do that and then put it in the basement after I get it painted and cleaned up. New side art on it. And I think I'm going to replace the coin door on it. It's really ugly. Plus, I've got a few other coin doors that I can use parts off of it on. And I think the cabinet, when it's done, will look really nice. Got a pretty fair price on that. Like I said, it was at auction. I don't remember exactly what I gave for it. You know, when you're bidding on those in auction, you got to remember to add about 20% on top of your bid, because you're going to have to pay a hammer fee plus sales tax. So the hammer fee is what the auctioneer gets for selling it. One thing I didn't like about this auction particularly is, even if you're the high bidder at the end of the auction, when the clock hits 0, it then goes into overtime bidding and allows people to continue to bid for like 2 minutes, I think it was. And then if anybody bids during that 2 minutes, it starts the 2-minute clock over. I just did not like that. If you're the high bidder, when that clock hits 0, that should be yours. That's the way it should be with an online auction. I also then picked up a Stun Runner cabinet, pretty good condition, needs T-molding, needs a little bit of cleaning on it, maybe a touch of paint. Can't find artwork, so it's not bad. It's got a few places where it's kind of rough, but I think I can get by with it. But yeah, artwork is going to be harder to find for that game, and I'm just not into it enough to want to pay to have it created. So I'll clean it up. I'll do what I can with the art that's on it, and it'll be good to go. Plays nice, got a good picture, plays great actually. If you've never played it, it's a yoke game, like the Atari yoke, like what's on Hydra or what's on Star Wars. It's a fun game. It's a sit-down game, so it takes up some space and it's heavy. Oh, I need to put some casters on it too. I also got a steel gunner, and it worked great. It played. It needed some serious cleaning. It was really kind of grungy. However, there was a mishap with that one during the unloading. And at this point, I'm not sure if it's salvageable. I haven't looked at it that closely, but I'm going to try and put it back together. It is a big machine, and it is very heavy. I will say that. And when big things go down, they have a tendency to go boom really bad, or bang, whichever you prefer. And it did. And actually, it didn't even fall that hard. It didn't even hit the ground. It kind of fell between the trailer and up against the door of the storage locker, but it was enough to do some pretty significant damage. I had a buddy down in Kansas City pick up a Galaga that I found online, And tonight I'm going down to his place. We're gonna have some brisket. I got a smoked brisket wrapped up nice and tight in the cooler. I'm gonna feed him for picking this machine up for me. The Galaga, it looks rough. It's gonna need some work. It has an issue with the game not playing. It could be a board issue, but I am leaning towards power supply. Those things are notorious for having power issues. So we'll put the multimeter on it, give it a check or two. If it is power, I'll convert it to a switching power supply, and then we'll go from there on getting it rebuilt. Then tomorrow, I have 3 stops that I'm making. I'm leaving my buddy's place in Kansas City and headed over to Lone Jack, Missouri, which is just outside of Kansas City. Then we're headed to Sedalia, Missouri, and then up and over to Columbia, Missouri. And we're picking up a Captain America, a House of the Dead, and a Virtua Cop. So we're going to get a couple of shooters, a beat 'em up, and then the Galaga this weekend. So I'll be back when I got some more footage to add to this and let you guys see the games. Captain America, I can tell you, it's going to need a little bit of work. The control panel is definitely it's got that brownish looking age color to it. So I'm probably going to replace the control panel overlay, and I'll put on a deck protector, a piece of plexi, if I do that. And I think it needs a bezel as well as a monitor shroud. So something, to go around the monitor, because it's just wood right now. Typically I'll do those out of like construction paper or black foam board. And then, we'll get a bezel made for it, or see if we can find one that's reasonably priced on eBay. House of the Dead, the pictures are really hard to see the condition of the cabinet, but it doesn't look too bad. It looks like somebody's broken off or removed the levelers on the bottom of it for some damn reason. So the base is a little chewed up, but nothing horrible. It's in a Dynamo cabinet. It's in an HS9. So big heavy machine. And it's solid black. Those are, they've got a top and a bottom to those, and they're typically painted two-tone. I might paint it because I'm guessing somebody else already has. But the seller says everything works, the guns play, the sound works, the picture's good. And the picture looks good in the video, or in the listing photos. And then Virtua Cop, same as Galaga. It's got no gameplay. It's just got I think it was a blue screen if I remember right. Again, I'm hoping power supply, but it could be a board issue on that one too. So we'll have to dig into that and see. The Virtua Cop looks like it's in pretty good shape, and I'm hoping I get some great deals this weekend. So I'll be back. I just passed a digital sign, and it said something about a tornado warning being in effect. I got sunny skies right now, but I'm certainly driving into something. That's alright, at least I'm not surrounded by corn. I'll let you know if I see any flying cows. So my buddy's wife just...
Crash reported ahead on I-29 south and half a mile. You're still on the fastest route.
Sorry, my phone just did stupid stuff. My buddy's wife just called. Said there's a nader on the ground just south of where I'm at. So maybe I get to see me some nader action. Little twister. I'm not too worried about it. But if I do see one, I'll definitely try and get you guys a glimpse of it while I drive the opposite direction of it. Alright. Oh, we got sprinkles. I'll be back. Well, I haven't seen a tornado yet, but we do have a little more rain.
In 2 miles, keep left toward Kansas City.
I did just pass a siren going off. Yeah, nothing too spectacular as of yet. Visibility is getting diminished a little bit. I'd say I got quarter mile, maybe a little more, a little less. Probably a little more. Oh, rain's picking up. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm not scared. I need to stop shortly. I gotta use the restroom, get a beverage, so we'll get somewhere eventually. If we need to stop sooner, we'll stop sooner. But I'd like to get through this before I do. So we'll keep watching. Scared. He turned his hazards on. You know, I drive all night long in a semi-truck, in the dark, in this kind of weather with tornadoes and whatever, and snow and ice. You can't see nothing. This isn't bad. I don't mind this. I can see.
Keep left toward Kansas City.
So, yeah, I don't mind this too bad. Just take your time, be alert.
For about 26 miles, continue straight.
So, yep. Oh, I think I got a little hail. Yeah, he's pulling off. Trying to slow it down a little bit. Yeah, he gave up. That guy pulled off. Turn these wipers on a little more. Oh yeah, we're slowing way down. Even the truck driver's slowing down. Maybe I should hit my hazards now. I don't want anybody coming up behind me not see me. Still doing about 40. 45. He's doing 70. He was doing 70. I got it at about 50 right now. If we can hold that 45 to 50, we'll be all right. Well, guys, I'm going to put the phone down and I'll be back. Okay, so now this I don't like. We're just sitting here now. I must have come up on the accident that was reported earlier. That would be my guess. But yeah, we're just sitting ducks. I don't like that. It's one thing to be able to move and change direction. It's another to just be stuck where you're at. The rain's calmed down. clouds don't look as nasty up above. And it's pretty clear off to the right, actually. And let's see if I can get you a picture of that. Not really, but yeah. So, anyways, the forecast for tomorrow is good, and that's a good thing because the trailer we have is an open top. I do carry a roll of plastic wrap and a tarp just in case I get into these situations where I've got a game that I'm picking up and it's, unexpectedly raining. Wrap them up as good as you can. That plastic wrap has a tendency to come loose at 70 miles an hour, but you can wrap them up and then throw a tarp over it, and that helps. Yeah, that's what I do, at least. So, all right, well, keep watching, guys. I'll keep you updated. Okay, we're moving again. Does not appear to have been caused by the accident. It looks like it's road construction, and one guy up there holding up the whole line. It's always just one guy, I tell you. Anyways, road construction's over. I think we're in the clear for now. Got some gloomy stuff up ahead. I guess the forecast is pretty nasty in Kansas City from 3 to 6, and I'm looking at getting there around between 4:30 and 5, so should be a fun trip. Well, made it through the storm. Had dinner, had a few drinks. Dog's sitting here attacking me. He's vicious, by the way. And I'm with my buddy Rob, who picked up the Galaga for me. Say hi, Rob. Reading the screen?
Hold on.
All right, we're going to go down and take a look at Galaga. Hold on. All right, we're headed to Buddy's garage. All right, let's see. Okay, so here is the Galaga my buddy picked up for me. Oh, that looks about like I expected. Rob, what the fuck is this? Why did you buy this shit? This thing's all beat the fuck. What the hell were you thinking? You spent my money on this? For real? Are you kidding me? I'm just kidding. Okay, so Galaga. I've already actually taken a look at it. We're gonna have to do some woodwork, a little bit of filler down there. It's gonna need some paint. We're gonna have to replace the button. Obviously, that fire button is not right. We do have the yellow mustard buttons on leaf. That fire button is a micro switch. The coin door is missing the mechs, but that doesn't matter to me. We got something going on here. Gonna need to put in some Bondo, fill this. Gonna have to, looks like somebody's dropped it at some point. So we're gonna have to probably take a ratchet strap, put around it, pull it back in. You can see there's a wooden peg down there. It'll pull back in, I think, pretty easy. And maybe put a couple of blocks on the inside to hold it. Screw in from the front, screw in from the side. Looks like somebody's already put some screws in there. T-molding is obviously going to need to be replaced. The marquee doesn't light up, neither do the coin doors. Guessing that's just light bulbs, no big deal. The art, that one's a little scratched up, but that's not bad, really. That one's pretty bad. So we'll replace the side art. That's not that big a deal. The joystick, might have to just clean those leaf switches in there. It feels okay. It comes back to center pretty easily. Got some burn in, as expected. Can't tell for sure what that monitor is. I think maybe a 4600. I don't know. We'll dig into that later. I did power it on earlier. It does have a board issue. I was hoping it was a power supply, but it is definitely going to be a board issue. I'll reseat the chips and see if that helps. Clean up the edge connector, and if not, we'll have to send the board out for repair. So, hey, Eldorado Games, better get ready. All right, guys, I'll show you the next one when we get it picked up. Well, guys, we got Captain America picked up. Cabinet looks good. Gameplay's good. I couldn't be happier with it. Out here in the middle of nowhere, picking up games.
At the stop sign, turn right onto South Spinella Road.
Nice country out here. Everything's so super wet. I got a little stuck in the mud, actually, picking that one up. But we're headed to pick up House of the Dead now, so keep watching. I'll be back. Okay, House of the Dead. Got it loaded. Cabinet is a little rougher than I had initially hoped. But I still got it. It's gonna need some paint. It's gonna need some T-molding. Looks like maybe it's been dropped and they put it back together with some screws, which is fine as long as the cabinet's holding together. But you know, I'll probably countersink those screws and cover them with some putty before I paint it. One gun has been replaced, it looked like, and one is original. It has, you know, those Suzo HAP 45s. So I shouldn't say original. One gun is older for sure. The new gun, I'll have to order a screw kit for those. It's missing a couple of screws. That's pretty common in these gun games. Game worked. It played. It had a great monitor, nice and bright. The guns worked. Actually, really well. He had it in his garage. The sun was shining in there, and it still picked up those guns. So I was really happy to see that. In a dark arcade, that thing will work flawlessly. For now, that's about all I can tell you about it. We're on the way now to Columbia, Missouri, and we're going to go get Virtua Cop. And I think I just barely have enough room on the trailer for it. I got a smaller trailer this time. Probably a mistake, but we'll see. One way or another, I'll make them fit. All right, let's get going. Okay, got it loaded. Turned out it was not a Virtua Cop. I was mistaken. It was Virtua Cop 2, which is great. That is actually, in many people's opinion, the better game and even the best game of the three. So that's a score in my opinion. I am 99% sure it is a power supply issue. The reason I am 99% sure is, one, the seller told me that it was working fine. He moved it and then it wasn't working. But if you power it on and off several times, it will occasionally boot the game. Also, I did notice that the coin doors were not lit up. Now that could be bad bulbs, but those are low voltage and would be running off of the DC current from the power supply. The marquee and monitor both lit up, but those are running off of the AC current. so the power supply wouldn't affect those. When it powered on, it just was a solid blue screen. I'm fairly certain it's a power supply issue. For that cabinet, that's probably like, I don't know, I'm going to guess somewhere between a $50 and maybe $100 for the power supply. I got a really, really good buy on it, especially if the monitor is bright and crisp, which it looked like it was, and the guns work well. They're the original Sega guns still, the big hunky, chunky revolvers. Nice looking machine, really. We did break a corner moving it, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure I can fix that really easily. Only part of it broke off, so I'll put a little wood glue on it and zap a couple of screws through. Should be fine. I've been stopped, checked my straps, we're still running nice and tight, got some lunch, and now I'm just headed for home. Okay, here we go. We have Captain America, House of the Dead, and Virtua Cop 2. You can see that the control deck on Captain America is pretty discolored. Looks like the plexi blew out. So we'll have to get a piece of plexi, and it was already missing the shroud on the monitor. House of the Dead. Definitely can use some cleaning. I'm hoping on the marquee, if you look where at the end of Dead, it's got some white there. I'm hoping that just needs something cleaned off and is not the actual marquee. Virtua Cop, really good shape. A little scuffing. Yeah, they did a really bad job of painting that. They got it all over the T-molding. Looks like they used some spray paint. I'll repaint that, put a nice oil on it, oil base on it, sand it down first, get rid of all the paint runs that are in it. Captain America, I'm okay with the side art on it. I'll probably leave it. Maybe I'll touch the black paint on the sides and definitely in the front. But yeah, there we go. So, today, and with the Galaga that my buddy had picked up, I spent a total of $1,650 for the 4 machines. What do you think? Was it worth it? I think so. When finished, and everything is working on them, I would say those machines are probably worth, each one of them, anywhere from $1,000 to maybe $1,500, possibly more. That Virtua Cop, I would guess, is at least $1,500. The Captain America, $1,500 might be a little to the high side, but I think that's possible. Galaga, it's a, I think $1,000 is a fair price for a Galaga, a Pac-Man, a Miss Pac-Man, any of those. I see them listed all the time as high as $1,200 and $1,500 in unrestored condition. So, I think I did okay. What do you guys think? Let me know. Obviously I'm going to have some additional cost, making the repairs and whatnot. Galaga, I'm sitting here thinking in my head what I've got going on with it. I've got the board issue. Well, if I send that board out for repair, that's anywhere from $250 to $300 by the time I pay for the shipping. Plus, you know, it still needs Bondo, it still needs paint. That stuff costs money. It's gonna need side art. It's gonna need a control panel overlay. It's gonna need a button for the fire button. I mean, you know, it's $2, but it's still $2 and it adds up. So I think Galaga will, by the time I'm done with it, it'll be about a break-even value. But at least then I'll have it, and I'll have it in good condition and at a fair price. Captain America is not going to be very expensive. It's plexiglass and possibly a CPO, a touch of paint, T-molding. You know, it's T-molding for that. 25 or $15. The CPO might be a little tricky. Plexiglass for that, I don't know, $50-$60 maybe. Oh, and then the plexiglass for the monitor, maybe another $50 or $60. It just depends, you know. So I'll be out a few $100s on that one, I guess. A couple hundred probably by the time I get all the plexiglass and do the art. House of the Dead, that's mostly paint and T-molding. So that's not too bad. And then Virtua Cop, that's, you know, that's basically just a power supply from what I can tell. So yeah, I think I did okay. Well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching, and as always, play until your fingers bleed. Have a great day.